Hello, you are live with the Ruckus. Who am I speaking to?
You speaking to Tim Bradley. Timothy
Tim
Bradley.
Desert Storm Bradley. How are you doing?
Fantastic. How you guys doing?
We're great. Tim,
we're great.
You're joined by Ryan Bivens, Mr. Sweet Boxing, Ismail Abdul Salam of Beast Boxing Mayhem. For those of you just tuning in, we're now joined by former WBO champion Tim Bradley, who will be fighting Diego Chavez December 13th in Las Vegas. You'll be able to watch it on HBO. So we're just going to ask you a few questions. The guys I know have questions for you. We have a couple questions from the listeners that they sent us ahead of time, and, we'll have a chance to speak with you. So I had the opportunity to go to the Los Angeles press conference. Unfortunately, Chavez wasn't there because he was still in Argentina, and it looked like you were really excited to get into this fight. Tell us a little bit about, the naming of this opponent and what you expect from this fight on December 13th.
Well, first of all, how this opponent came about was, my manager's my wife now, and Top Rank. They work together to give me my next fight, and this was one of the opponents that HBO, Top Rank, including my wife, was like, it's a good opponent. I mean, he has a really good record. Not only that, he's faced Keith Thurman. He's faced against also Brandon Rios. He did relatively well in each fight. He's a tough guy. He's a very tough guy, very clever in the ring. I like to call his style a style within a style, because he throws punches at weird angles. He does whatever he needs to do to try to hit you. Doesn't matter where you're at, where you're positioned at. This guy, he's throwing shots. And I think it's a great fight for the fans. I mean, I honestly do. I mean, we all know that this guy can truly fight. The general public probably don't know who this guy is, but we know that he can really fight.
Ismail?
Yeah, Bradley. I wanted to ask you, just kind of to piggyback on what you said about Chavez. Even though he's a good boxer, he also can get very dirty in there. And I wonder, when you're preparing for this fight, are you getting any flashbacks of possibly having an ugly fight the way you had with Hassan Mayor, as far as, fouls, all that type of stuff? Do you see that coming about in this fight?
It could. I mean, definitely it could. If Chavez somehow don't allow me to work or don't want me to work and try to tie me up and get a little dirty in there, I could see the fight going that way. But, we'll bring it to the ref's attention, especially right before the fight. The ref that's going in this fight knows that Chavez just had a fight that was rough and dirty, and so I'm pretty sure he's going to be regulating and putting the smack down in the dressing rooms right before the fight, and say that, hey, I'm not taking no bull crap from any of you guys. Anybody foul, I'm immediately taking a point or something like that. So I think that's where it's going to go down. But, if it doesn't, it's great. He fought against Thurman. He didn't foul Thurman. He didn't do anything that was crazy in that fight. So, I mean, I know he's more than willing and capable of fighting a clean fight.
Gotcha. Now, you pretty much made it to the mountaintop when you got Pacquiao. Got 2 fights with him, actually. I wanted to kind of get your mindset. Do you still feel you're as hungry as you were back in 2010, 2011 when you were trying to get to that point? Now that you're here, is it still exciting to you, or is it more business at this point?
Well, I mean, it's always exciting. I love boxing. Boxing is what just, it just makes me tick. It's something that I do really well, and I enjoy the sport in itself. So I watch boxing constantly. As far as my career goes, I've done a lot in my career. Personally, I feel I have a Hall of Fame resume. I faced over 10 world champions, former or present world champions. I mean, I beat all these guys, man. Even beat Marquez, who's a legend in the sport. Beat Pacquiao, who's a legend in the sport. I mean, I feel that I definitely have a Hall of Fame resume. But, I mean, there's new challenges and new things, new goals that I've set for myself. Whether I'm a champion at 147, I would like to move up in weight and test the waters at 154 pounds and face one of those junior middleweights there. So, I mean, that's another added motivation for me and the new goal in my mind that I think that I can accomplish a world championship at 154 pounds, and I'll be a 3-division world champion. So the hunger is definitely still there, man. If you ask me that, I just love competition, man. I love competition. I love when it's one-on-one, man, and it's him against me, and that's what I really enjoy about the sport, man.
Speaking of
Ryan?
competition, have you actually had a chance to even look at the possibility now that you're saying the Cold War is over, some of those Golden Boy fighters you may be able to fight? Have you even looked at some of those possible opponents?
Nah, I mean, I just take it as it comes. It's not like, I study all these guys. I pretty much know how to beat all these guys, man, because I always watch them fight, and, I put myself in there. So I always study and have a game plan for all these guys. So, I just, what's in front of me right now is like the only thing that I'm really focused on is getting past this one. These are one of those fights that, can be really tough and gritty, depending on how I fight in that fight and how, I pretty much know how this kid's going to come out of me. He's going to be aggressive, of course, but, it's going to be a great fight, man, and I'm just paying attention and focus on that. But as far as fighting the best, man, that's all I want to do, man. I mean, Chavez was the best available opponent at this moment. Now that the Cold War is supposedly over, I mean, there's a lot of fighters out there, definitely Golden Boy, that, definitely pays a lot of attention, I'm paying a lot of attention to, but, they can come whenever, man. Just say, y'all already know what to do, man. Just call my promoter. Y'all want to get it on with me, man. Just make it happen. If it make dollars and make sense for everybody, then let's do it, man. I'm willing to fight anybody. It don't matter, any place, anywhere, anybody, anytime.
All right. Ryan?
Yeah, hi, Tim. Nice to finally get to talk to you.
What's
I got a
happening,
question
man?
about the second Pacquiao fight. One, did you really believe you lost that fight, considering you thought you won the first fight? And two, did it depress you?
No, I didn't get depressed. First of all, I didn't get depressed in the second fight at all. I think, the first fight I got injuries in that fight, and then I got injured in this fight for some reason. I just don't know why, man. Maybe just because of the way Pacquiao, how resilient he is, how quick he is. I just, he's very athletic. I don't know. I try so hard to keep up with his speed and, his fluidity and everything, man. Like what he does in the ring, he's just so fast. So if I was disappointed, I was disappointed about that. But, I mean, as far as the fight goes, I thought it was a close fight. I honestly did. I thought I thought he beat me. A lot of people were saying that were watching and were saying I was calling it a draw. But, I felt that he beat me. He did enough in the later rounds to, definitely merge on and get ahead of me. I kind of fell off by the sixth round. I watched the fight. I would say he beat me 7 rounds to 5. Some can argue, say 8 rounds to 5, but it just depends on who was watching that night. So definitely, I lost that fight.
Okay. And about Chavez, considering that he's come up short in his 2 big opportunities in the past, do you think that makes him more dangerous or less dangerous now?
Well, I think he's gonna be hungry. I think if he can defeat me, then he's climbed to the mountaintop and he'll have a bigger opportunity in the future. So I think he's really taking this fight really seriously. So I'm not expecting a tough Chavez. I'm not expecting a guy that's going to be jet lagged, and all his complications. I think they're going to fly him in the right time. It's going to be a really really good competitive fight, and I think he's going to be a tough night, man. Tough order, man. Like I said, he's a big guy. He's tall. He's has power in both hands, particularly the right hand. Great right uppercut, great right hand, good left hook. I mean, this kid, he does it all, man. He has a really confusing style. He's very unorthodox, man, at it too. So, he's showed that he's durable and able and willing to fight with some of the best fighters in the world. He showed that against Thurman until Thurman found that key and ended it with a body shot. And But Rios, he was winning that fight before he got DQ'd for the dirty tactics.
All right, you seem well schooled on this opponent. So, what question in my mind is, will we see the most disciplined version of Timothy Bradley, like when you fought Juan Manuel Marquez, or are we going to see another Tim Bradley that goes in there against Ruslan Provodnikov, balls to the wall, and just to please the fans or prove something to himself, not fighting the smartest game plan?
No, I think, I've learned it since, the second Pacquiao fight. I really definitely got out of my element. I definitely tried to really knock this guy out. I felt like if I didn't knock Pacquiao out, that, I wouldn't I wouldn't win the fight anyway. But after hearing those scores, I was like, yeah, I did right by trying to go for it anyway because the scores were ridiculous, I thought. But at the same time, I learned that, just, hey, man, just fight my fight. So, I'm expecting... Well, I know what I'm gonna do in the fight, man. I don't want to give my game plan, but you will see a smarter Tim. That's what we're working on, man. Just being smart in the ring, using my angles, using my boxing skills. So yeah, you'll definitely see my skill set in this fight, as opposed to in the Ruslan Provodnikov fight where I was just swinging, gun hold, didn't care, and just put my face out there, hit it, and I can take it, and that's it. So absolutely, you see much more mature Tim Bradley just this time around.
Speaking of Provodnikov again, the last person to beat him, Chris Algieri, is going on to fight Pacquiao. What do you think about that fight?
Chris Algieri, he's very athletic, very motivated, fights with a lot of confidence. He's very confident in his abilities and everything, but everybody has a chance in this fight. If he learns if he can keep his distance and stay away from Pacquiao and not squat down to Pacquiao's level, because Algieri has a tendency of crouching down and losing the size difference, and his height advantage by crouching down, with the high guard, and that's one thing you don't want to do against Pacquiao. As soon as you put that high guard up, you just know that Pacquiao's coming around and coming straight through that guard, man. And Algieri, he showed, some weakness in his chin. He's been rocked by a couple of guys. I've seen some tape on him. He's been hurt with some right hands and left hooks. Particularly the left hook, he got hit with. Ruslan Provodnikov went down. He got up. He showed how good and how resilient he is and how tough he is, and that he changed his game plan up. And it was like he knew he made the adjustment that I couldn't sit in there and hang with this kid and slugging with this guy. So he moved and used his reach, and he did right. So it's a good fight. It's going to be a really good test for Manny Pacquiao. But I think Manny Pacquiao should definitely be able to solve this puzzle. Algieri's not that quick. He's not a very big puncher at all. He's very athletic, man, and he can move all night. But, Manny Pacquiao, like I said, this guy he's just different, man. He's a different type of fighter, man. He's just always feels like he's a step ahead of you all the time, man. So I'm picking Pacquiao, in this fight. Algieri, do I give him a chance? I'll give everybody a chance, but I think Pacquiao wins this fight, no doubt.
If Algieri does win, is that who you want to target?
I don't, man. Come on, target, man. I'm sure that if Algieri miraculously wins, then I'm sure there'll be a Algieri Pacquiao too. I'm sure after that, but I don't have to really size myself up with anybody, man. I'm willing to fight anybody. I ain't got to say I want to fight them. Everybody already know if whatever the best in my weight class, bring it on, man. I'm tired of this guy saying he's the best. I'm tired of this guy saying he's the best, but he ain't fighting the best, man. To fight the best, that's what it means to be the best in the world. You got to fight the best, man. If Michael Jordan was to come back and say, "Oh, I'm the best player ever," but you know what, he can't compete with LeBron. If he can't compete with, all these other guys out there, Durant and all them, man, then how can he consider himself the best player, man? You got to be able to. Hey, if you in the game, guess what? Fight the best opponents, available opponents for you, man, and fight the best in your weight class and the best in the world. And that's how you can call yourself the best ever, the best of this generation, the best whatever, if you fight everybody. Everybody. As long as you standing there and you fighting and you in this boxing game, fight the best. That's it. That's right. Plain and simple, and that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to continue to fight the best. So, I get this win, when I get this win in December, then I'm be looking for the next best available opponent. You know, that's a top notch guy out there. I'm looking for bigger fish to fry, man. That's just it, man. I want to continue on to have this great career of mine and continue on to just give the fans what the fans want to see, the best possible matchups.
Okay, but I'm curious why you might want to move up the scales, considering, you know, welterweight is the best division in boxing. You know, it doesn't seem like you need to go anywhere.
Well, I've already fought two of the best at welterweight already, so, I think moving up to 54, it'd be a different challenge. It'd be none of those things where, you know, everybody will say, man, he's crazy, that's too much weight, he's too small. But a lot of people don't really know my track record, so, I mean, a lot of people don't really follow me like that. So I fought at 152 pounds as an amateur, man. I know it's the pro ranks, but it's no different. I fought against guys 6 foot, 6'1", 6'2". I mean, I fought against big giants, man. So it's nothing, man. I got my quickness, my footwork. You know, I can get in and out on these guys. Just because you're big don't mean you can be dominant, man. It's about boxing skills, and I have them. So 154 is not like a big jump for me. I think, I'm relatively small, but there's a lot of 54-pounders out there that are small, too. I mean, Miguel Cotto's not that big. You know, he's not extremely big. You know, he's a thick guy, big legs, but he's not like the Sky Tower. You know, he's not towering over me. You get what I'm trying to say?
Right.
So that's the reason why, man. It's a good opportunity. Plus, it will be a really good fight to fight, one of those champions out there, 54, even Canelo. I mean, he's not a very big guy. He's just big-boned, He's not that tall. I mean, he's probably 5'8". I mean, I fight guys 5'8" all the time. So they're not that big. So why not, man? Why not test the waters that high and see if I can win a world championship there? It'd be a hell of a run, man, if I can get one.
You know, if you were able to land a Canelo or a Cotto fight, those would probably be above 54, not all the way up to 160, but above 54. Is that still okay with you?
Yeah, man, I walk around about 175, sometimes 185, so, I mean, I can get up high, man. In between my fights, I blow up because just my frame, I eat everything in the house, and, dude, I ain't got to lift a weight, man, and I just got to have some 18s, 20s on me, man. Getting up that high in weight. But, I can walk around that weight easy, 165, 175, 185. And then I just come back down. I come back down to 147. So I'm a naturally just, muscle-bound dude because of my genetics. And, my father, you look at my father's about 230 pounds. I mean, he can get up to about 250 pounds if he wanted to. So, and he's 5'7.5".
Okay. Assuming it is, Cotto that you're able to get in the ring with, and he's still technically the lineal middleweight champion of the world, if you beat him, would you defend that title?
Would I defend the title?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would defend the title, absolutely. If I'm the champion at that weight class, would I defend the title? Absolutely. But if something else was to come along that was big, boxing's a business as well, man. I definitely will go after that. So if I had to go down to 147 again, or go, or stay at 54 or whatever, or 160, I mean, I'll stand there and I'll fight the next best available opponent. Absolutely.
Okay, I'm done. Thank you.
Oh yeah.
Looking over, your last couple of fights and the types of injuries that you've suffered. You alluded to, you said you're a very muscular guy, and it's very easy for you to get back in shape. Just to prevent some of these muscle tears and other type of injuries, have you made any adjustments to your strength and conditioning training so that you don't suffer these types of injuries in the future?
Well, I got a physical therapist now. I got a doctor on hand 24/7. I mean, there's a lot of things that definitely have changed since the injuries. I got, a doctor that's looking after me, on a weekly basis and just critiquing my improvements. And I got a physical therapist that works with me 3 days. That works with me 3 days a week. I got a massage therapist that works hand in hand with me too. I mean, there's a lot of different things that are now in place. So I got a strategy, got a plan, what I'm gonna be doing and what I'm gonna have to do so this won't happen again. It's particularly my feet. It's my feet. I'm very flat-footed. I got size 12 feet, 5'6", and I'm flat-footed. So a lot of problems occur because I'm flat-footed, and so absolutely. I mean, we're doing a lot of things down there that are a little bit different, and it's helping. It's showing. It's definitely showing in improvements and improving in those areas that I'm weak in.
Mm-hmm. In your corner, we know that the fixtures in your corner are always your father, Tim Bradley Sr., and Joel Diaz. Will your corner still continue to operate as it has in the last couple of fights, where Joel is the predominant voice and your dad is more in the background, or have their roles changed any?
No, never. My dad will always be in my corner, and unless he can't take it anymore, Joel Diaz will always be my trainer. Granted, nothing happens to me or him, but we win together, we lose together. We celebrate together. We're happy together. We're sad together, man. But I've gotten here and I got to the top, with this team, and there's no point in changing it, man. We have the remedy, and just because we suffer defeat don't mean that it's over. So we're gonna continue to grow together and continue to do great things in boxing. And I'm gonna stay with my team. I'm not one of those guys that point the finger at everybody. I lost because of you, or I lost because of you, and this and this. Nah, I just got beat by a better man that night. That's just it. We did everything we were supposed to do. We fought the good fight, but you know what? Hey, we came up short. That doesn't mean that it's over. So, you go back to the drawing board. You don't need to fire this guy and fire that guy and blame this guy. No, you look at yourself in the mirror, because guess what? At the end of the day, and when you wake up every single morning, that guy that you're looking over in the middle, that's the battle that you have every single day, is with yourself, man. And in that ring, it's the same thing. It's just you and him in that ring. So at the end of the day, the only person to point to is yourself.
Ismail?
Yeah, Tim, I got one final question for you. Being that, let's look at it this way, Devin Alexander, his rep kind of has still not recovered from that fight that you had with him in 2011, the way that he ended the fight. Do you get any type of, still satisfaction based on the way that fight led up and what people, they had questions about you? The fact that you were able to answer all those questions and where your career has gone since that fight, do you look back on that fight with a lot of satisfaction?
The Devin fight, absolutely. I mean, Devin was a great champion. So, the fact that I fought him and I beat him, regardless of how the fight turned out, man, I was winning that fight, no doubt. But of course, I mean, I look at it and I'm proud. I'm definitely proud of that. That was one of the goals that I need to accomplish, and I was able to accomplish that goal. So I'm very happy about it.
Speaking of which, that reminds me. I remember, around that fight, I think maybe a little bit afterward, you got accused of ducking Amir Khan, and now Amir Khan is going to fight Devin Alexander. So I'm curious on how you think that fight's going to play out.
You know what? I really don't know, man. I really don't know. I don't know, man. I really don't, dude. I don't know who's gonna win that fight. I mean, I know Amir is extremely fast, quick with his hands. Devin's quick as well, and he's a left-handed fighter. He's very awkward. I think the styles is man, it's a compelling style. I don't know, man. I can't call that one, man. It's too close to call, man. It really is. It's way too close to call, man. That's a fight that I will be TiVoing and checking out. I have no idea, man. It should be a good competitive fight. They're there, man.
Well, we wish you the best of luck on your fight against Diego Chavez. Once again, for those of you who are tuning in, we're talking to Tim Bradley, who will be facing Diego Chavez December 13th at the Cosmopolitan in Las Vegas. So make sure you tune in on HBO. Congratulations on the new baby that you all are expecting over there.
Thank you. I really appreciate you guys, man. It was a great. Thanks for having me on. It's a great show, man. Great questions, and Hey, I'm looking forward to coming back another time. So thank you so much, now, and everybody that tuned in. Thank you.
Thank you for joining us. Good luck.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.